My name is Audrey Verkerke, and I will be doing my Planet Money presentation on why Netflix spent billions for WWE. So, starting with a background of what they talked about in this episode. So, they talked about Netflix transition into live sports. Beforehand, Netflix really just focused on their TV shows and movies, but now they're trying to reach a larger audience. So, they're starting to stream these sporting events because that's what's popular now, and they want to gain more traction, and they're starting to be more competitive. This started with WWE's Monday Night Raw. They made a deal with them because they were previously on cable, and now they're streaming that. And it also discusses how they're competing with traditional cable TV, which I kind of explained, and how they want to reach a younger audience as well. The Monday Night Raw deal was $5 billion, which is a lot of money, and Netflix is really gaining from this, and cable subscriptions are losing out from all of these deals because people aren't feeling the need as much to have their cable if Netflix is starting to offer the things that they would traditionally use cable for, like those sporting events. And Netflix diversifies into live sports to stay competitive because they do have a bunch of competitors like HBO Max, Hulu, Peacock. So they have to keep up and they have to do what's important for themselves. And the sports leagues move content online to reach younger and more global audiences. So when you think of all of these sporting events, mostly people from America are watching them. So they're trying to get, especially for the football, they're trying to get people from outside of America to watch these and to gain interest. So the NFL games, like I was talking about, they attracted 14 million viewers. And Netflix actually faced buffering issues with some of their live events, like the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson match. So for a bunch of users, they just experienced glitches on their screens. So if Netflix wants to keep up with all of these big streaming events, then they're going to have to find a way to fix that, because this did affect it did have a big impact on the way these people were watching these events, because some of them even paid for Netflix just to watch these certain events. Some of the connections to the economic subjects are competitive market dynamics. So like I was talking about, Netflix has to really compete with all of these competitors that are so closely to them. They have so many different people watching them all, and they're all kind of along the same line. So Netflix is trying to do something to stand out against the other streaming devices and cable as well, because cable is just the traditional go-to for people. And firms are competing for consumer attention, so they really just want to do things to gain attraction from even the younger audience as well, because the younger audience is in with technology. So they want to do this to just create attraction and to keep up with the upcoming generations. So there may be barriers to entry for the smaller streaming platforms that can't keep up, because a lot of these deals cost a bunch of money, and these smaller platforms might not have that money, versus the bigger platforms like Netflix can afford to do that. So they will just keep expanding. Overall, Netflix investments in live sports like WWE shows how streaming platforms are starting to replace cable TV. So it's going to be interesting to see how it ends up, as more and more people are realizing they don't really need cable TV and they can get these streaming devices. So if Netflix decides to stream more than just their TV shows and movies and just occasional sporting events, if they start to do it full on, then I think that will be a big deciding factor for many people who just use the cable. And it could definitely change how we watch sports in the future as more events move online. And like I said, the smaller streaming devices may end up struggling due to this changing factor. And that's everything. Thank you.